Shoot it and boot it. Shoot it and boot it. Shoot it and boot it. That's why I'm shooting and boot it. Whoa, 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 whoa. Yeah, think I ain't gonna get my kids over here tripping because I don't know what it is. What up? We are back. Just made it to the airport, about to head back to Cali for tomorrow's hearing. It should be extremely interesting to see what goes on. I'm gonna drop a video, probably add on to this video later on tonight to talk about all the violations I have documented, go over the custody order, and kind of talk about how I modified everything, or not even modified, how I organized everything in a manner that aligns with the custody order to show all the violations. But yeah, first things first, man, I got to get on this plane, get back to Cali, grab a rental, go see my barber, because I'm looking a little rough right now. Got to get fresh for tomorrow. Spoke to my attorney. I didn't even speak. She sent me an email yesterday. Talking about, hey, this is what we're proposing. And I'll break that down too. I might even drop another video kind of breaking that stuff down. But for the most part, it should be a good time. So keep you guys posted.
A few moments later.
We are back. I am in the rental. Just landed out of SNA, Santa Ana. Good old sunny Southern California weather. We just gonna see what's up. We're gonna get it popping. Heading down to Long Beach to my barber right now. About to shout him out in a second. I might even just vlog in there too. Hey, I don't think he got a problem with it, so we gonna see. Maybe he do, I don't know, but we gonna see. But yeah, the goal is just to grab that haircut, slide back down this way, check into the hotel, get my luggage and stuff in there laid out, grab some dinner, probably hit the Spectrum for dinner, and then get back to the room, and then just make sure I got all my documentation lined up. I may even just, kind of go over it with you guys just to show how I got everything lined up. And yeah, it should be interesting. I got everything lined up. I'm excited. I'm not nervous. I'm kind of bracing myself for disappointment because I know how these courts work. I know it's a circus, so I'm not sure how everything is going to play out. And even, just kind of going back and forth with my thoughts on my attorney right now, I'm starting to question whether I picked the right person for the job. She started off strong, but here we are 10 months into it. And I don't think, she's got that same vigor she had before when we first got started. And I know it's not due to me or anything like that. I think it's more due to, her frustrations with the court for one. And then, our attorneys they pick up multiple cases. So I think she's more, looking at more of her low-hanging fruit or her winnable cases versus something that's more difficult with mine. And she's also got to realize it's like, it's not just, her versus opposing counsel with somebody on the other end of opposing counsel that's not really knowledgeable about what's going on. She's dealing with somebody in my ex-wife who is around legal minds all day long. She thinks she's a lawyer, but she's a paralegal specialist. But she's around, different attorneys that handle multiple different types of law. So, I just going through a lot of the documentation, I can tell through her grammar that she's writing the majority of her responses and her motions. So I think the difference is that now, since we've been dealing with that for 2 or 3 years, I'm pretty much in a good position to where I can go ahead and start drafting my own motions, which I've already been doing, and I've drafted my own responses and just kind of had my attorney look over them and sign it off and file them, and at this stage in the game, I'm starting to question on whether I even need her to continue doing that for me. But I am 100% sure that we are not on the same page as far as what we want to do. She had a quick meet and confer. Here we go with that term again, meet and confer, which is run up the clock with opposing counsel. And she's kind of just singing the opposing counsel song, and it's like, that's not what we're here for, and then especially knowing all the things that are going on and all the egregiousness that's been happening, the fact that, you know, she's even entertaining this, I think she understands that, you know, my response is very clear about what I want to do. So we'll see. You know, good old Southern California traffic right now. Look at this. This is what I don't miss. I don't miss this Southern California traffic. Oh, and they got Amber Alerts? Oh my. Yeah, that was some BS. As soon as I get back into LA, y'all getting hit with the Amber Alerts. Hey, man, put them kids back. I'm fighting for my kids. I guess somebody just said, fuck it, they just gonna take the kid. I'm just taking them. We out of here. You know, Amber Alert. Good luck with that. I mean, you would think most people would be like, man, you know, hey, put that kid back. You know, like, I don't want to be dealing with that kid. I got to feed him. I got to clothe him. I got to bathe him. I got to do all this extra stuff. You know, like, hey, if that's what you want to do. That's how you want to go about it. You know, I don't condone it, but it is what it is. So, yeah, getting back to it, you know, like I said, heading down to the barbershop right now. It's going to be a long, trafficy drive right now. So traffic is flowing. It's the 405. So, you know, Southern California traffic, I don't miss it at all. But, you know, we're going to thug it out a little bit. And then, you know, we'll get to the barbershop. We may vlog a little bit more in there, see what he's talking about. You know, hopefully there's some interesting characters in there. You know, it's always a lot of good people, a lot of good times, and great conversation. So maybe we'll get that, maybe we won't. But for the most part, you know, I'll catch you guys in a bit. Yes, sir.
Yes,
we here. Got my boy Peanut. Hey, made it to the barbershop.
Hey, this is the best man alive right here. This brother is the truth right here. After Nick passed, it was Mark.
I appreciate you. I appreciate you, brother. Yeah, man. Shoot. We made it. Like I said, about to get this cut. You know, always a good time, my boy Peanut, man. Always take care of me. Man, if y'all in Long Beach, always come in, stop by, get a cut, man. You ain't gonna regret it. I promise you. You know, he got the hot towels. He got all the styles, everything, man. Y'all see how crazy I look right now. You know, when I clip back, you're gonna see what I'm working with.
Black people always said they was gonna do. I'm gonna sue and I'm gonna blow this motherfucker. Right. Niggas don't know nobody who know arsenics or nothing. They're like, I'm about to blow this mug up. Niggas like, nigga, don't lay down, man. Not swamps and what is it called?
Yeah, Charles Schwab.
Charles Schwab, yeah. You ain't blowing Charles Schwab up, nigga.
Ernest and Young. No, we got something to say about it.
Nigga, you ain't about to blow up Charles Schwab.
Right.
Farmers and merchants, nigga.
Right.
Nigga, that's messed up.
Edward Jones. Oh, yeah.
Super buster.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We are back. Oh, yeah.
That's like when women be in the chair, they be doing this.
Oh, yeah, they do the flick. They flick that hair.
You be like, damn, baby.
While they got all that volume.
They be showing.
Yeah, the hair got that bounce on it. It got that volume.
They got that roll bounce.
Yeah. They gonna go straight home and put a bonnet on it.
Ooh.
Family court is a circus, bruh. So, you know, we don't know what's going, you know, which clown they gonna bring out tomorrow.
Yeah.
You know, so we gonna see. We gonna see,
man.
All right. Just left the barber shop, feeling fresh. You know how it is once we we get that fresh haircut, we feel like a brand new person, right? So yeah, I'm feeling brand new right now. I'm feeling fresh, feeling good, man. Shout out to my man Peanut. If you ever happen to be in downtown Long Beach in the area or something like that, or if you're just getting out of, like, you know, Orange County Airport, need a quick haircut, all hairstyles, you know, all textures and grades of hair, he's phenomenal. So definitely tap in with my boy, man. Like I said, I've been rocking with him for well over a decade. Always taking care of me, always a good dude, always in positive spirits, man. It's always laughs, always a good time, right? So about to slide down here to this nail shop right now and you know, go ahead and do all this mani-pedi eyebrow business, and then try to slide down to the hotel. So, you know, that way I can go ahead and make sure that I got everything lined up and I can get some dinner and prepare for tomorrow. So I will tap in with you guys in a minute. What up? I'm back. I'm in the room. I'm checked in. I didn't really get a chance to film a whole lot. I've been moving around like crazy. I just been going through some of my notes, and I ordered some Yard House ribeye steak, broccolini, and held it. Ain't really nothing to look at, but I knocked that down. We just gonna kind of cut this short for the night because I got to get some rest. I got to get up early. Gym opens at 5 a.m. Breakfast starts at 6. So I just need to go ahead and lay it down, so I can get up, get a good workout in, get a good pump, and then get some good breakfast in. Hopefully they got some decent eggs so I can season up and have a decent breakfast. And I'm on the road and I'm going down to the courthouse. So I wish I could get into some details about how I did, pretty much all my documentation, but we can get into that another time. But, this is what I have. And then also I can let you guys know whether it really worked or if it was just, waste of fucking time. So we'll see. But I'll get with you guys in the morning, Good night. All right. Good morning. We are back. Got some all right sleep last night. Got up, prayed, got dressed. Got a little bit of breakfast this morning. Ready to take on the day. We are here. Court opens in about an hour from now. I'm about 20 minutes away. So that gives me enough time to get in here and get everything sorted. This person parked like right up on me. That's crazy. But yeah, should be a good day in court today. We'll see. I really don't know what to expect again. I gotta meet with my attorney in the hallway and see what her thoughts are. But realistically, I'm gonna tell her what my thoughts are first, and she's gonna back off of that. Like I was saying before, I'm not 100% sure if I want to continue, working with her. Wow, what happened to the camera? There we go. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure if I want to continue working with her. Specifically based on a number of things. There was a couple of emails that happened, kind of dropping the ball in certain areas, not giving me the right recommendations for certain things. And I just feel like maybe we could do a little bit better somewhere else, but we're going to see, I'm feeling good today. I'm feeling good. I met up with my peoples yesterday, had a good time. Let me get this seatbelt going on. Yeah, man, we should be all set for an interesting day, so the courts here are super slow. They're absolutely horrible with organization and scheduling and everything. So we'll see what they want to do. But yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. I'm feeling pretty confident, making sure I don't hit any cars on my way up out of here. I have like the largest truck. I feel like I'm back in my new state, but we'll see. But yeah, outside of that, everything feels good. I feel good. I don't think there's going to be anything too egregious today in court. I just really want to get in front of minors counsel and just get this information in front of them, even if my attorney is just kind of spitballing stuff on the wall, and she actually sits on a board for the county, in family law. So I thought that I was getting the right person, and I'm really going to pay close attention to how she maneuvers today. And based on, the outcome, and based on, her efforts, not necessarily the outcome of what we have today, but more so of her efforts in what we're trying to do. If I feel like she could have did more, if I feel like I'm not getting my value, and if I feel like I'm not getting my legal representation, I'm probably going to move forward. I know we have some depositions later on this month, so I might be stuck, with her to kind of play that role in those scenarios. But once that's over, we may be switching up. However, damn, I'm just knocking my luggage around everywhere. However, we got a hearing today, so let's see what's going on, and we got depositions. So depositions for later on this month, and we'll see how it goes. But right now, again, I feel good. I really don't have anything else. So yeah, I'll catch up with you guys. Probably they won't let me film inside of there, but it's pit bull time. It's time to go ahead and put it down. And I'm looking for, I'm looking forward to getting into one of those conference rooms with minors counsel and laying it all out. They're already aware of a lot of, what mother has been doing as far as the violations go. However, I think that I really need to drive some points home, and the fact that I've barely been able to see my children. And the biggest blocker of that is her. It's not, the orders. It's literally her refusing, to participate in custody exchanges. It's her refusing to follow every court order. I mean, we even had a scenario in which, the court order says, hey, we know you moved, 75 miles away, but we agreed that we were going to keep our son on the same football team, so that way, he can have, pretty much some sort of normalcy. And there's not really any football teams where he's at right now. But it's funny because she even, got him off the team for that. But it's all good. Yeah, man. So we'll, cut back later and see what's going on. All right. So I am here. Just met with my attorney. I actually ran into her in the parking lot and we had a quick conversation. Funny thing is, she's saying that there may be a conflict between her and the new judge. She said, their prior relationship and working together, in different practices may force her to recuse herself from, being our judge, which would be interesting, and delay the case even further. So minors counsel hasn't showed up. Opposing counsel is here. But again, we're going to see what happens, So, like I said, I'm going to sneaky cam in here and keep you guys posted. So, talk to you soon.
So, we breaking the law today.
Okay, so minors counsel has arrived. We will see what they're doing. The attorneys are meeting privately with minors counsel, and hopefully I'll get pulled in later. All right, we are back. It is noon. So I was in there from about 8:30 or 8:20 a.m. to about noon. And yeah, so it was pretty interesting, and I'm going to have to sit here and kind of break this down a little bit. So we did have different things on the calendar. We had the RFO status conference from our last hearing that was pushed out in an additional 3 months. And then they also had the RFO for modification of child support, and then the RFO modification of custody visitation. Basically, same thing, that we assumed was going to happen. They essentially wanted the attorneys to sit pretty much in the hallway, meet and confer and figure out what they want to do. Minors counsel eventually showed up, and then they met with minors counsel. Minors counsel wrote up a new stipulation, very specific to a new order. And essentially, I'm going to have to break all of this stuff down in detail because, yeah, man, how do I start? So minors counsel is aware of all the violations. Like, it wasn't even necessary for me to sit here and map everything out. It pretty much, he was fully aware of it. And minors counsel even explained to me and said, hey, it's one thing to write an order. It's another thing to enforce it. So, out of the 26 custody violations, the denial of visitation, me flying in and meeting at the custody exchange location and mother not showing up, all of these things, all the things, at the end of the day, he really can't do anything about it, which is sad. The court really can't do anything about it. Like, family court is a circus. They're really incentivized. Oh, my lawyer's leaving right now. They're really incentivized to keep us working together to figure out what we want to do, or figure out what kind of agreement that we can come up with, and they'll just, rubber stamp it and sign off on it. The new judge, she didn't recuse herself. She even mentioned and said, to my attorney, oh, hey, how are you? Good seeing you. I didn't realize you were on the case until I looked down at the docket, blah, blah, blah. And really, she doesn't really have a conflict, because at this point, it's really going to be down to minors counsel and what he can draw up, and then what mother and I can agree on. And so I do have, pretty much what minors counsel drew up. And there are some things in there that are extremely beneficial for me, and not so much for mom, as far as my travel, expenses, visitation, what happens, when she refuses custody, etc. There's a lot of things that happen or that are written in there that are in my favor. Now, the only thing is the enforcement, it becomes the issue. Trying to get enforcement of things that are put in place, has to be done by way of filing another RFO and then pushing for custody in that manner, and having this as a basis to say, hey, this is why I'm pushing for this, because I cannot work with the other parent to actually do what's in the court order. It's kind of like the same spiel they gave me last time. The last time I came here, I did a temporary modification because mother moved away. And I said, you know what, that's fine. Let's give it 3 months. Let's see how it goes. Let's do a status conference. And if she doesn't follow the orders, then, I'll have to push forward. Well, I came in here with that notion of wanting to push forward and say, hey, well, not only did we do it for 3 months, we did it for 6 months, and she's doubled down on it. So it's time to push forward. Well, not so fast. The circus dances again. So now they're like at the point to where it's like, okay, well, we need to be very specific. We need to be more specific in the order in order for her to bury herself in this. And it's like, dude, she's already has enough to bury herself, So there's a decision that has to be made. So minors counsel wrote up a settlement, which is predominantly in my favor, but still it's just like on paper, it's in my favor. The reality is, she can still just say, that stuff is cool. I'll sign off to it, but fuck you, So, and that's where I'm at. So I didn't agree to it. I have a copy of it to go over it. We set up another date to follow up, in a couple of weeks. And, I've got to figure out, what's the best approach for doing it, because, she even had the nerve to have pushback on the actual agreement. So that's why we couldn't come back. The court broke for lunch, and they asked the question of, hey, can you guys get this sorted to come back after lunch? And realistically, no, we can't. I need to sit here and chew on this. I need to be very specific, because the last time we did something like this in our original judgment, she paid attention to a lot of the wording that was very specific, and she exploited that wording. Well, we're not doing that this time, and I know my lawyer is not really paying attention to that, but I'm definitely keeping a keen eye on everything that's written and how it's written in the stipulation. I may even go as far as having someone else look at the stipulation. Like I said, I had to make a decision on whether I'm going to continue to work with my attorney currently. And she did a great job today. She understands. But also what I did not like is that she tried to push me towards that, the stipulation, how it's drawn up. And I'm like, hey, I've seen this song and dance before, and I don't like this song. So, and I know I'm trying to do what's in the best interest of the children, but at the same time, it's like I can't do things to my own detriment, and I think what's in the best interest of the children is actually seeing both parents and having that time with both parents, and it be quality time and not just some rinky dink, hey, you get them when I feel like giving them to you type deal. So I want to dive into some of those details right now. It's interesting because I'm out here today. I'm about 15 minutes away from the custody exchange location that we have in place currently. And in the stipulation, I'm supposed to have the kids for spring break. Well, she already messaged me and told me, she's not giving up those kids for spring break. So even if we signed this today, she wasn't going to follow that. So I'm supposed to be meeting with them at 7:00 this evening. And I highly doubt that she's going to bring the children to the exchange location today. This evening at 7. So I'm at a state right now to where it's like, what do I do? Do I just, book a flight and fly back now? Or do I wait till 7:00 and then pay the premium to fly out, or even be stuck here and get a hotel room and then fly out in the morning, which cuts into my own personal weekend. So, I'm just, again, getting the short end of the stick, and, just looking at all the hours billed, a lot of money was blown today, for the status conference that eventually came to no conclusion, to be continued. So I'm going to have to shell out even more money to have legal representation for this. And I feel like, I don't know if I want to continue, with attorneys at this point, because everything else should be, I can pretty much handle it. But I do want to have, a second set of eyes looking at it. So it may be one of those things to where I may have to downgrade the scenario and, kind of put her in more of a consultant role. But, yeah, there was no way we were going to come up with a conclusion, past lunch today anyway, because she's going to be a judge presiding. My attorney is going to. All right, my bad. I got cut off on the last clip. I caught a phone call. But, yeah, just to kind of continue what I was talking about. Yeah, so we're at a weird state right now. So just to kind of break it down, Miners Counsel wrote another stipulation trying to create a settlement offer. And then at the end of that settlement offer, basically his goal is to get us to have a official custody schedule, so he can basically absolve himself from the case. So he wants to get off the case. Everyone wants to come up with a custody arrangement and agreement. And I think the biggest difference right now is we can't move forward with child support, doing the modification there until we have a custody arrangement set up and signed off on. Now, the thing is, I'm not going to rush that process because I'm not 100% comfortable with the settlement offer that was presented to me today. Like basically I brought up the paper, right? This guy. I'm not 100% comfortable with that right now. So there's some things and some wording that I need to go in there and double check and refine and probably have a peer review to make sure that everything in there is what it is, right? And it's going to work out in my favor in case she decides to do this stuff that she's doing right now. So, so there's a couple of things that need to happen for that, right? Right now, I'm just kind of taking everything in. I don't feel like, there was any like big wins or losses or anything like that. There was no, oh man, this is crazy. I kind of wanted to see her get roasted for all the things that she's doing. But I think, again, I didn't marry a dummy, right? So the woman is smart. She understands that, there's only so much they can do in that court. And so she's pushing it all to the limit. Like the only person that's not really familiar with how this is going to play out and what the, rules and regulations are, is pretty much me. I don't have a legal background. The only legal background I have is dealing with this case for years now, and it's just that my knowledge has gotten so much better. Like the lawyers talk to me like I'm a lawyer now. Like they don't dumb it down for me like they did in the beginning. Now it's just like, okay, this is what we're doing. How do you feel about this? You know what? You take a look at this and read it, and let me know what you think, and then I would have questions about, certain things, and they would dive into the law and, and then, previous examples to, different cases. So, I'm gonna keep you guys posted. I need to get something to eat. I am starving. That little breakfast I had this morning did not last, so like I said, it's noon, few after. I just got a message from the mother on the app. And then the other part of today is, I'm supposed to have the children, and I don't even know if I'm getting them or not because she already said that I wasn't getting them for spring break, but they're on spring break right now. So I don't know if I should, meet at the custody spot right now, or if I should just head on to the airport, try to get on the next plane smoking, and head on back home because nothing's going to happen in the next, easily the next few weeks. So, it's supposed to be just kind of like one of these things where we're just continuing keeping going, but keeping it going means I ain't seeing my kids. So, I'll need to, kind of figure that out. But yeah, that's the hearing today. I'll have to break down some of these details. It may even be worth breaking down, this offer and kind of breaking down all the different options that are, proposed in it, so we'll take a deep dive look at it. I'm still kind of processing and taking everything in. I'm still at a level of frustration because I realize that, this woman's doing whatever it is she wants to do. And there's really no repercussions because no one can enforce it. The court can preside over it, but they can't enforce anything really. It's just that you kind of have to go back and say, all right, well, she ain't been doing it, so here's an RFO. I'm going to request for order to, push for, my actions and based on the evidence, here, that this is what I want. And so the issue I have with that too is we did this modification and I had a conversation with minors counsel essentially saying, hey, if she doesn't do this, then, she's going to have to deal with me. She's going to have to deal with what I have going on. Like, oh, she's going to do it. Well, she didn't do it. She didn't do any of it. And then so I go back and I talk to minors counsel and say, hey, she didn't do any of it, dog. You know it. I know it. The proof is in the pudding. It's all everywhere. It's not a secret. It's not like it's anything like, oh my God, you have to prove that she did this. Everybody knows it. It's been ongoing for 6 months. It's actually been going on longer than that. It's just that we put the temporary modification for 6 months and she violated the temporary modification even more than she did the original judgment. So it's like, like, what are we doing? So, and now basically, it's basically somebody saying like, oh, well, if you get into some smoke, I got your back. And then when the smoke shows up, he's like, well, there's a difference between, saying you're going to be about something and actually being about it. So you said you was going to be about that smoke, but you're not really being about it. And the reason why you're not being about it is because you really don't have the jurisdiction to be about it. That's not cool, but hey, it is what it is, right? So yeah, let me go ahead. I'm going to grab some lunch, probably head down to the Spectrum, grab some lunch, read this message, see what she's talking about. Then I'm going to figure out what we're going to do for the rest of the day. Because right now I'm out here in Southern California, suited and booted, and I really don't know if I'm gonna get my kids or not. So, I'll figure that out and I'll keep you guys posted.